Nico Harrison is gone. But what is true and what is false about his tenure in Dallas? Was he the worst GM in the history of sports? I answer that today.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
I think that's a good question. Good morning, Isaac.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like back.
You are Locked On the Dallas Mavericks. This is one of your co-hosts, Isaac Harris. Cover the Mavs for the last 10 years alongside my good friend, Nick Angstead. And we are still day one of Nico Harrison's departure from the Dallas Mavericks. We dropped an episode early this morning, or early yesterday morning, as soon as the news came out. And man, we're here. I want to talk about what's true and what's false about his tenure in Dallas. Man, there's a lot of stuff being talked about right now over the last 24 hours, right? I mean, everything's reflecting on the past 9 months with Nico at the helm in Dallas, while also looking ahead and what could come in the future. And I just wanted to hop on like, hey, I want to do one more thing. I want to go through some of the statements that's being thrown out, and I want to give you my opinion on what's true and what's false. So let's start here. I think one of the things that I'm seeing the most right now is Nico Harrison was the scapegoat for the Luka Doncic fallout, the Luka Doncic trade, and all of that. He was the scapegoat, and it really wasn't him. I can't tell people enough that this was Nico Harrison's decision. It was his idea. He was the one who went and got the Ascension coffee with Rob Pelinka. Every single report, everybody I've talked to, anybody you talk to that would be in the know of the situation, that Nico was driving the ship with the whole trade and the whole idea of the trade. Now, what that does not mean, it does not mean Patrick Dumont is out of the woods, because Patrick Dumont did sign off on it. Patrick Dumont did give Nico Harrison full control of everything. Patrick Dumont did say some wild things after the trade about, roster construction teams and past players that took their body seriously and all the stuff. So he is not without fault in that whole situation, 100%. But Nico Harrison is not the scapegoat. Some of the chatter about, hey, well, Nico was just a fall guy. It wasn't his decision to trade Luka. That is just not true. That's false. Nico had full power from Patrick Dumont. Dumont buys the team from Mark Cuban, or the majority ownership, believes Nico Harrison, puts his trust and empowers Nico Harrison. A unique situation we've never seen. I mean, we haven't seen something like that before, as far as this. Yeah, just the whole situation that unfolded and the decision that was made to trade Luka. So Nico Harrison was a scapegoat. False. He was not. It was his decision, his idea. He did get full approval from Patrick Dumont. Let's do the next one. We never got to see the full Nico vision. I referenced this the other night at the Bucks game. I was talking with some people that has connections to Nico before the game. And in those conversations, they're talking about just the team, the roster construction, and anyone associated with the team or the front office, or anybody, anybody associated with the team or front office, that when you talk about the team and the current struggles, one of the first talking points you hear back is like, well, look at the injuries. It's like, well, what do you expect? Kyrie's been out. AD's been out. Look at some of these past systems that Triano's run. They've had these 2-star players. These are the 2-star players we're building around. They've been out. Kyrie obviously hasn't gotten to play. And it's like, you go back to this, you never got to see the full Nico vision. And I actually say it's true. We haven't got to see the full Nico vision, because unless you want to go back to the first half against the Houston Rockets post-trade and say, you know what? Those two quarters in the first half, that's when we got to see the Nico vision. Was that fun? those 2 quarters were so much fun, but that's all we got, right? Like, cause after that AD was hurt. After that, Kyrie ends up tearing his ACL. And at the start of the season, Kyrie's still out. So we don't get to see him and AD together. And then bam, Nico's gone before you get to see all that. So did we get to see Nico's full vision intact, including his vision to land Cooper Flagg? What a vision. What an idea, man. If y'all could just see that vision of Nico's to get Cooper Flagg. Did we get to see the full vision of everyone healthy at the same time playing together? We did not. But that doesn't mean that's a reason not to let him go. Because it's like one of the biggest risks and what ifs ever is putting this team together and say, you know what? If they're healthy together, then this is going to be dominant. There's a reason why you're saying if. There's a reason why you're placing that word right there, because there's a history there with Anthony Davis. And, going into this whole offseason, going into the entire season, that Kyrie was going to be out for a really big chunk of that. So you can't really claim well, man, you should have kept Nico until you saw the vision. Did we see the vision fully intact with everyone healthy? No, that's a true statement. But was it worth not firing him? No, it wasn't worth not firing him, because you put a risky stuff situation. Like there's a chance you might not ever see that. So you're just going to hold on to him for the next 2 years you're still dangling the carrot in front of people saying, yeah, but wait till AD gets back. And then it's like, well, and so if Kyrie comes, or when Kyrie comes back, and then it's like, well, what if Kyrie isn't 100%? You see him like he was last year. And then it's like, well, wait until next year. Kyrie's fully healthy. AD is going to be coming back from an off season. That's what we thought we were getting from AD at the beginning of this season. So it's a true statement, but it's not a reason not to let him go. Let's do another one. This was more than a basketball product decision. I've seen a lot of people, that's probably the wrong statement, but it gives me an excuse to talk about the subject. I've seen a lot of people just focus on the basketball part, right? Kind of like what I just did of, hey, the vision, the injuries, it's a new system. It's going to take time. Cooper's super young. Like, let's see what it all looks like. It's going to be great when they all get back and they're healthy and it's all together. That's the basketball side. We can say, hey, that didn't work. This didn't work. And the combination of all this stuff, and just focus on the basketball side of why you let Nico Harrison go. But this was much bigger than just what the product on the basketball court was. So when you hear the stuff about all the stuff off the court about Nico Harrison, and you're like, is that really true? I think it was just about the basketball. I think it was just they just had a losing record and everybody just piled on, and it's a little unfair. Like Draymond Green's it's unfair, unfair to let go of Nico Harrison because we hadn't even got to see it yet. It's premature and all this stuff. And it's no, there's a lot more reasons behind the basketball, behind what you see on the basketball court. And I'm going to talk about those right after the break. This podcast is brought to you by our friends over at FanDuel. The NBA is rolling right now. There's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you miss the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to the fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into the same game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push or losing the late push in the fourth quarter. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. This podcast is also brought to you by our friends over at Rugiit. Rugiit. I think I'm saying it right. Rugiit. Let's go. Let's be real. Making excuses doesn't solve anything. Wow. Do y'all know anybody who makes excuses? We've all heard them before. It's just the stress. I'm tired. It happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just need a little extra support. And that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet makes it easy to get started. You just connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online. You don't have to go into the awkward waiting rooms, no in-person appointments. Visit rugiet.com/LockedOnNBA to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/LockedOnNBA. Don't forget to use our code LockedOnNBA so they know who sent you. Rugiet, stop making excuses. Start making moves. Wow.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All right, talk about Nico Harrison. What's true? What's false about his tenure in Dallas? Man, he's gone. Let's go. Let's go. First step of getting this whole ship turned around and back on track. But I was talking about the reasons why Nico was fired and let go. A lot of people are focused on the basketball side right now, citing the record, citing the premature stuff with the injuries, and like, oh, you got to see this stuff through because it's, it's Nico's vision. You got to wait and see his vision to see if it works and all this stuff. It's way bigger than that. You're talking, where do you want to start first? You want to talk about the fan base? This guy disrespected a fan base from the very beginning. When you trade a superstar like Luka Doncic, that the city is beloved. Like, I mean, if there's a city that knows how to love a star player, it's freaking us. It's Dallas, right? Like, we've had Dirk all these years. Like, if there's a city that knows how to connect with a superstar player, specifically a basketball player, it's the Dallas Mavericks fans. And when you go and you make the decision to give up on the guy and Luka Doncic and say, hey, see ya to everybody in Dallas and all the kids and everything that has looked up to Luka and watched Luka take you to the finals and all these different things. Bye. Like, I'm sending him off in the middle of the night. Have fun with those breakfast conversations the next morning with all your kids. Then you get in front of a camera for the press conference at this little makeshift table in Cleveland, and you like laugh and like make a joke. It's like, talk about reading the room. There's this whole connection. And I said it on yesterday's podcast that there is one thing to trade Luka Doncic. If you reach that conclusion to trade Luka, which is still crazy at his age and all the stuff, and you go through, you put it up for a bidding war and you get a crazy amount of assets. You do it in the off season. You do all these different things. People are still going to be pissed, but the hate isn't going to be, I don't think the hate is as much as it is right now because of all the things you did after that. The PR disaster. Like, you could write an instructional book on what not to do when you make an unpopular decision with a fan base. Other teams and organizations that are going to study Dallas we're going to get the reports of like, yeah, this team, whatever the sport it is, this team really looked into and talked to people associated with the Dallas Mavericks of what all went wrong and what they did wrong after the Luka trade. We're going to get that story sometime in the next handful of years. You have an invite only like roundtable with media people to try to like, I don't know, curve the conversation, which Nico says was not his idea. He tried to blame someone else with that. That's another thing he told me in our media day conversation because I pointed that out to him. I was like, hey, what about this? And because I was having fun pointing out some things. That was another thing that Nico just didn't ever take responsibility. But there was never hey, we realize that we just traded someone that's beloved by you guys. We know that this is a decision that we have made collectively and that we believe in at the time, but we know we've lost a lot of your trust. We know we want to gain that back. And they never tried to step towards the fans. It was always a pushing the fans away of like, whoa, y'all got to get on board type of thing. And that's where he just butchered the whole thing. So many different comments that we've laughed and we will continue to make fun of forever, of the seeing the vision after getting Cooper, of fortune favors the bold. There was that comment to where like He was just like, yeah, well, we're not even going to be around in 20 or 30 years. Like, it was like, what are we doing right now? There's no acknowledging and connecting with the fans. So when you lose a big portion of the fans, and I get it, man, you got Cooper Flagg, and then you're dropping the articles after that. I think it was Rick Welch who had the articles like, man, so many fans came back. So many fans were ringing it was ringing off the hook after we got Cooper Flagg. And it's like, all right, like I'm glad that a lot of fans re-up their season tickets after getting Cooper Flagg, but you better win or else it's going to come back. And boy, that didn't take long. He didn't even get the 10 games before he getting fired Nico chance. And it was right back, if not worse than what it was after the trade. So that's when I've never seen a fan base like this. I've never seen a fan base like this in the sense of, I think the fans played a huge role in this. I think this is a huge day for sports fans in general. I don't care if that seems like cliche or whatever, hyperbolic. I don't care. Because I don't think without the fan reaction of firing Nico in the arena and all the different stuff, like, I don't think that this happens without that. And my wife's calling me right now. Sorry, babe, talking about Nico. She's so tired of hearing about Nico. She's like, there's no way it happened. Like, yes, it did. What was I talking? This is what happens when my wife calls and my brain starts. That's a good thing. You get butterflies when your wife calls. Oh, I love my wife. She's the rock of the family. Been married 12 years. Let's go. Y'all don't care about my wife. I forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about Nico off the court stuff, fans, and the fans played a role, I think, in this, but you alienated fans. You have so many people in the organization that their careers either ended or had to veer off track because of him. You had people that were beloved around the team for so long, of the training staff previously, and Casey Smith. And there's other people that are not like fully public on it, of like what played into roles and people leaving and stuff. And of course, like the Dirk stuff, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes with that. And it's just like, that has to play a part in it. You can't act like you're better than fans or act like you're better than some of the people that work underneath you and then expect, hey, well, just wait till my vision gets seen on the basketball court. It's not all about the basketball court. This was off the court stuff too, and all the ramifications. I mean, the stuff that I didn't know was some of the effect it was having on the players. Because I just haven't talked to the players about it recently. I haven't asked anyone recently about, hey, what's the effect of firing Nico on you guys? But seeing some of the reports over the last 24 hours of, man, how some of them prefer playing on the road compared to at home and how it was weighing on them and all this stuff. I'm just glad that is lifted off their shoulders. And it has to mean something knowing that, hey, all the fan base is like fully behind you. So it's bigger than on the court stuff. Last one I want to talk about is the statement, Nico Harrison was the worst GM ever. False, surprisingly, but close. Listen, I've seen a lot of stuff over the past, even before the game, even before the Bucks game, in some conversations with some people that were reminding me, hey, Nico has done some good things around here. I'm like, I'm not saying he didn't. Like, just because I think he should be fired doesn't mean that he didn't do anything good around here. I get it. Like, the Mavs went to an NBA Finals with Nico Harrison as GM. They went to another Western Conference Finals with Nico as the GM. He brought Jason Kidd with him. Jason Kidd was the coach for those runs. I get that. He took the chance on Kyrie and made that trade and swung for that. Heck of a trade. Love that trade. Kyrie has been awesome in here. I hope they keep Kyrie for the long run. He made the Porzingis trade. I love that trade. I was like going to bat for him so hard because when you trade Porzingis, you get Dinwiddie and Bertans back. Some people are like, what the heck? That was right at the deadline, like buzzer. I loved it. I was on record on this pod that night saying, hey, us getting a third ball handler in Dinwiddie next to Brunson and Luka will do wonders for this team. That was the year they go in the conference finals. They go face the Warriors in the conference finals. The Lively draft night. Like, Dereck Lively, trading for Dereck Lively and moving back 2 spots and getting off the Bertans contract. You get the later first round pick in that too, which is Omax. Love Omax, RIP. But that was a solid move. You identified Lively too. I know he's been hurt and stuff, but the talent and the fit next to Luka and all this stuff, he has done good things in here. But what I told somebody Monday night is like, for all the good things, there's the bad things. One, you could say the Luka trade outweighs all of that, which is correct. You make a trade like that, it does define your career. He got upset with me whenever I asked that question about why you shouldn't be fired, because he felt like that I was summing up his career into one decision. And he thought that I asked that question because I didn't like the trade. And I was like, hey, I don't like the trade. I disagree with you. I think it was a wrong move. And Nick can vouch for me that. I said that right there to him. But I was like, I wasn't asking because of that. I was asking because in this arena right here that we were standing in, there were 20,000 people chanting for you to be fired. I wanted to know why those 20,000 people were wrong. So it had nothing to do with how I felt about the trade. So the Luka trade outweighs all of the good things. But on top of that, it's not just the Luka trade. You got the Jalen Brunson debacle of not re-upping with him and extension and all the stuff. And then he's gone, which I get Donnie Nelson, the contract stuff that he signed back then before Nico. I know that played into it, but Nico did have a decision to give Brunson the extension whenever he wanted it, and he passed on it. We could talk about Grimes for Martin trade. We could talk about Grant Williams, the Grant Williams U-turn. Like, you trade for, you get Grant Williams, and then it's so bad that in order to get Reggie Bullock, you got to like ship off Grant Williams with a first round pick to get Reggie, like, and all this stuff. Like, that's Christian Wood. Oof. Some of y'all wanted to max Christian Wood. I remember those days. So is Nico the worst GM of sports history? No, but dang, he was close. Because I've never seen, and I don't think we're going to see for a while, a front office executive make a decision like that with Luka trade and then follow it up with 9 months of absolute disaster and not being able to understand the connection with fans and all the right moves after that. So there you go. Just another reason to talk about Nico Harrison today. We got another podcast. I guess there was one that came out earlier this morning because I think I'm dropping this late Wednesday morning, possibly. And then we're going to have pods throughout the week. There's a game Wednesday night here at home, which should be fun against the Suns. Talking about a relief and a weight off everyone's shoulders walking into the arena that night. But yeah, check out all of our coverage, share anything from this past week. And yeah, peace out. Boom.